So, shloka today it's 2.56, and I believe there is another one, 2.57. Dukhesh anu vigna manaha, sukhesh vigata spira, vitaraga paya krodha, setadhir muniruchyate. Translation: one who is not disturbed in mind, even amidst the threefold miseries, or elated when there is happiness, and who is free from attachment, fear, and anger, is called a sage of steady mind. So it's talking about a sage of steady mind. What all does it take? Prabhu, you can share the next sloka also. Thanks. 2.57. Ya sarvatra anibhishnehas tattat prapya shubham na vinandati na dveshti tasya pragya pratishtita. Translation: in the material world, one who is unaffected by whatever good or evil he may obtain, neither praising it nor despising it, is firmly fixed in perfect knowledge. Okay. So here, right before this 2.55, shloka 2.55, the instruction of the previous verse was that if we want to be free from the influence of material nature, then our habit of mental speculation should be given up, right? So this is a progressive stage, and the discussion is going on. Lord Krishna is telling Arjuna, um, habit of mental speculation should be given up if one wants to be free from influence of material nature. So in this shloka, 2.56, one who is not disturbed in mind, even amidst the threefold miseries, or elated when there is happiness, and who is free from attachment, fear, and anger, is called a sage of steady mind. So it's talking about not being disturbed in mind and being a sage of steady mind. So all that. So all our miseries, Srila Prabhupada says that all our miseries, distresses are due to our material body. There are three kinds of distresses, sufferings, which are always going on. All living entities experience this. So Adhyatmika, distresses due to this body and mind. Adhibhautika, distresses due to the other living entities. So for example, we are living in this society with many other living entities, both men and animal, other species, and there is possibility of miseries caused due to other living entities' behavior upon me, right? So this is the possibility. So, and also due to this bodily construction, either a person will have some mental or bodily agony, somebody might be sick or something, and through going through their own struggles, mental or bodily pain, etc. So Adi Devika, distresses due to the natural disturbances, distresses such as which are beyond our power, the supernatural power, for example, floods, um, unaccounted snowfall, rainfall, famine, etc. So these are beyond our control. So the symptoms of a person who is situated in the platform of pure consciousness will be like this. Dukhesh anudvigna manaha. He is not disturbed by any or all of any of these three kinds of miseries. When we are situated in the platform of pure consciousness, we personally understand that I am not disturbed by all these miseries, because he knows that he is not this body, and these sufferings, three kinds of sufferings, are due to the body, and the person, living entity, is actually pure spirit soul. So people become very much disturbed, agitated, but one who is actually situated in this position or pure consciousness, Brahma Bhuta Prasanna Atma Na Sochati Na Kankshati, which will come in the 18th chapter, he has no distress because he has this realization. And Sukhesh Vigata Spira, okay, Sukhesh in happiness, Vigata Spira, without being interested. So on the material platform of distresses, sometimes there is distress and sometimes there is happiness on the material platform, on the material plane. For example, if a person gets some good food stuff, or if somebody praises that person, he or she might feel elated. So these are the signs of our happiness. But one who is situated in pure consciousness, he is neither disturbed by all those distresses which we spoke of, nor is he happy when by all these designative offerings, bodily designations or praises, and um, designative offerings, because all these are due to this body. He understands that person understands that. So as soon as this body finishes, all these will finish. So he knows that, because if it is a fact that vashamsi jirnani yatha vihaya, previous shlokas, if I, living entity, person, has to take another body after leaving this body, right? Then everything in bodily connection will finish as soon as I give up this body and take another body. So that is my position. So when person takes a new birth, he starts afresh. He has to go through all those stages: birth, death, old age, disease, and all these sufferings. So as a person puts on new garments, giving up old ones, similarly the soul accepts new material bodies, giving up old and useless ones. Therefore, one who is convinced, one who actually knows that I am not this body, I am pure consciousness, then these designative offerings, praises, or some good palatable foodstuffs which are offered by some friend or somebody, and I'm thinking, oh, how happy I am. So so this is the state. And but what is this happiness actually? That happiness is only due to my senses. For example, when we spoke of this palatable food stuff, it is sense of tongue, using this sense. But we know that we are not this tongue. So this is the fact that, but that does not mean that we shall not eat and etc. All those things, and or we shall not associate in the society. We will do all those things, but we must always know that we are aloof from this. I'm aloof from this. I'm not this body. So my position is that I'm subordinate to the supreme consciousness, and I have to act in that position always, that I'm subordinate to the supreme consciousness. Although I'm conscious, spiritual conscious, but there is supreme conscious or supreme consciousness, and my position is that I'm subordinate to that. So should know always that and act accordingly. So vita raga bhaya krodha stita dhir muniruchyate. So without free from raga attachment, bhaya fear, krodha anger, stita dhir, whose mind is steady, muni a sage, uchvate, uchyate is called. So in spite of all this, he is aloof from all these things. Knowing this will make him completely happy, actually happy. This is actual happiness, understanding this and practicing this and realizing this. And because such consciousness prevails, so the person has neither raga, which means attachment, nor bhaya, which means fear. So, so long bodily conception of life is there, fearfulness will always be there proportionately. For example, as much as the person gets rid of this bodily conception of life, then his fearfulness also decreases accordingly, proportionately. And so long I am absorbed in this bodily conception of life, my fearfulness is greater. It is there proportionately. Because as long as we have our body, there will be four demands of the body, right? So there is ahara, nidra, bhaya, maithuna, hitopadesha. So ahara means eating, nidra means sleeping, bhaya means fearing, and maithuna means mating. So these things, these four demands of the body will be there. So you see that people struggle for this when we have to work to get food stuff and clothing, etc., accommodation, etc., and there is nidra. We day to day we have to have proper rest. We get tired because of hard labor, being awake throughout the day. Whether it is entertainment, whether it is work, we will feel sleepy. And there is fear. Whatever assets you have, we are always protecting those things. Whether it be big car, house, or your relations, or whatever it is, your money or everything. There is always fear. We see this in the news, right? Um, Mishappenings and all those things are happening. So there is always fear. And methuna means mating. So so both animals and men share the activities of eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. But the special property of the humans is that they are able to engage in spiritual life because they have superior or better consciousness, superior to other living entities, lower entities like animals. So the human beings have an advantage. They have superior consciousness. They have this opportunity, better opportunity in this human body. So therefore, without spiritual life, humans are all on the level of animals. So if we don't realize this, we don't act according to this spiritual consciousness, we don't make full potential, full use of this, then our life is getting wasted just like animals. The four things which we just discussed: ahara, nidra, bhaya, methuna. So one who is free from this conception of body, his four demands, ahara, nidra, bhaya, methuna, will automatically decrease. Um, so this is the situation of pure consciousness. So Sthita Dhir Muni Ruchyate, such a person is not affected by the greatest allurement and is called a sage of steady mind. So this is what the translation initially mentioned. So that is the sage of a steady mind. a sage of steady mind. That is his stage. Because he's not affected by the greatest allurement. He's not bothered about the praises. He's not bothered about the distresses. He's fixed. And he's fixed in this position, knowing that he is spiritual consciousness. And he is subordinate to the supreme consciousness. And so the next one, he who is without attachment, who does not rejoice when he obtains good, nor laments when he obtains evil, is firmly fixed in the perfect knowledge. Abhinandati, praises, never. Now, na abhinandati. Suppose a person has done some marvelous work. Srila Prabhupada gives this example because that work is material. It will vanish over time, right? Therefore, knowing this, we should neither be very enthusiastic to praise it nor be sorry for it. For example, you see people buy expensive car or housing, they have to maintain it, right? Whether it is medicine. Recently, Srila Jayapatasi Guru Maharaj gave this example. I saw in WhatsApp message. He was talking about this expiry date of medicine. Everything has an expiry date when it in this material world. So, knowing that it will vanish, it will not be will not be able to use it, right? So the person understanding this is neither enthusiastic to praise it nor sorry for it, right? So these symptoms are for a person who's actually situated in the pure consciousness platform. Tasya pragya pratisthita. Tasya, his, pragya, perfect knowledge, fix it. So there has to be perfect knowledge for one to be in this pure consciousness platform. His pragya, his intelligence. Intelligence is above mind. So in this context, people can be categorized in stages. For example, the first stage, the general stage of our life, is the activities of the senses, which we spoke. For example, senses, one of the senses is tongue. So those who are ordinary persons without any knowledge, they are acting whole day and night to satisfy, to gratify their senses. People are watching TV, buying dish TV, watching movies, going to cinema and all those things, or buying expensive good food stuff, or they're struggling for that, and things like that. So other senses. And this is ordinary life where you are working day and night, hard labor to satisfy your gross senses. Mostly people are working for that purpose. A large population would go into this category. Above them is the second stage. If somebody is intelligent, he is working on the mind, at the level of mind. For example, those philosophers, poets, and you have these people who write dramas, novels, or movies and movie scripts, etc. So these plays. So these philosophers, poets, and thinkers are a little better than the previously what we discussed, those who are working day and night to gratify the senses. So Indriyani Parani Ahur Indriyebhya Param Manaha. The working senses are superior to dull matter. Mind is higher than the senses. Intelligence is still higher than the mind. And the soul is even higher than the intelligence. So, and above them, in the third stage, are those who are acting very intelligently on the laws of the nature. Example, scientists or people who are like scientists, inquisitive. At that stage, that scientific stage, so scientists perform these experiments, they do the scientific calculation. So in this stage of this scientific stage, where they actually reach a level where they appreciate consciousness. So they think, why is it like this, and all those things, and they reach a conclusion that there is something superior. There's something beyond this body. This body is like jacket or clothing. There's something in it. While it's in there, it's alive. When it's not there, it's of no use, this body. So this appreciation of consciousness, the perfection of scientific life, when they reach that level, is wherein scientists are doing research. What is this truth beyond this? What is this absolute? What is this? How is it happening? How is this world running? So when they come to the point of this pure consciousness, after doing all those tinkering and reaching, exploring and reaching this, researching, they reach this point of pure consciousness. When they come to understand that I am not this body, I am this consciousness, that is the highest grade of scientific knowledge. So Prabhupada gives this example, praising the scientists, if they reach this level, if they take this path. So it is not possible to control one's senses on the material plane, right? Our senses should be under our control. We should not be servant of our senses. And this is only possible when one is situated in the spiritual platform of consciousness. One who has attained this perfectional stage of controlling the senses, he is called Swami or Goswami, master of the senses. So this can be done by practice, by knowledge. And Bhagavad-gītā teaches on the platform of pure knowledge. We should take it very seriously and try to assimilate it ourselves and distribute this knowledge for the benefit of all other living beings. So we initially started with that there is pure transcendental consciousness, and this is in, I think this is in 2.55. One needs to rise above this mental speculation. He should give up this habit of mental speculation to be free from this influence of material nature. And then we spoke of a platform of pure consciousness, right? And then there was this example of state of steady mind. And one has to be on this perfectional stage of controlling the senses, right? One has to have this knowledge, platform of pure knowledge. So one has to be firmly fixed in this perfect knowledge. So it's a progressive stage, and Lord Krishna is answering questions of Arjuna, and he will further explain this next stage of the soul, which is even higher than the first three stages which we spoke of. For example, categorizing them as those who are always gratifying their senses, working for that day and night. Then we spoke of mind, people who are on the next level, who's somebody who's intelligent. He's working on the level of mind, these philosophers, poets, and etc. And then there was this third stage where people are scientists, for example. They're acting very intelligently on the laws of nature. And then beyond that is the stage of the soul, pure soul. So soul is even higher than the intelligence. It's more subtle. So this soul is in three coverings or four coverings. This mind, intelligence, ego, and there is a cross covering outside that. So slowly, Lord Krishna will answer other questions of Arjuna, and it's a progressive state. So thank you, Prabhuji, Mataji. Thanks for joining this shloka recitation. Please join again tomorrow. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you, Sri Hari
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna,
Pranam.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna.